Today we are going to learn about another implicit object. Okay, so that is nothing but the config implicit object. Okay, that is as part of JSP. We are going to learn about config implicit object. Okay, so how we can make use of that, we are going to study. Config is used for the initialization configuration as we have studied as part of servlet. But here, what we are going to do is the same config. This is as part of the servlet. This implicit object is a type of servlet config. Okay, so in order to mention the servlet configuration, so we are going to provide the config details, right? How we are going to get the initialization parameter, what we will configure that as part of JSP. Okay, so let me what I will do here is like I will create one form. Okay, so I will create one HTML form, that is name it init init form dot HTML. Okay, so simply init dot form HTML. So here what I am going to do, I am going to write h1. So init param form. Okay, so simple, just to write this kind of init. We are dealing with the init param, right? Like the config param. So I will create one form here which will take the user input. Form action is equals to, action is nothing but action is equal to init param dot init param. Okay, so action only will take in this is the init param. So what we are going to here write here is like what we will write, will take the input from the user. Input type is equals to text, and I will write name is equals to same username. Some username will take here as well. So here what I have taken, like I have taken one input name. Uh, will take input name as the username. So on submit, I will write input type is equals to submit, then value equals to submit. Okay, submit. This is the form. This is the form init form. Only to redirect whenever user provide the username, it will redirect to init param dot JSP. We can provide dot JSP. Okay, this is the URL, right? Nothing but the URL. So what I am going to write here inside the web app, I will write the file called JSP init param.jsp. Here we will get, here we will receive the init param, right? So everything whatever the Java code we are going to write, we will provide here inside the tag, right? So here we are going to write the Java code, so we'll provide inside the tag, scriptlet tag. So here what we will write, we will get string uname is equals to request request implicit object dot parameter, get parameter. This is inside the tag. This is username will get, and this is the name we got. Okay, so in order to get the init parameter, we have to write the web.xml. Okay, so here inside that web.xml we have to write. Okay, let me get that information of web.xml. Okay, what I will write servlet tag is not here, servlet tag is not there. Okay, let me write the web.xml. These things I have copied, I have pasted this web.xml. URI is not registered. Okay, so form.xml we have to insert this one dependency. This is Jakarta Servlet API, Jakarta Servlet. Okay, that's all. So now this might have gone. Okay, now it's fine. So what we are going to do here is like init parameter is the initial parameter. We are going to configure here. Okay, so we'll configure the servlet. Servlet name is, what is our servlet name? Servlet name is config servlet. Okay, this is our config servlet. This is just a name, nothing to worry. Okay, so now, and then we used to write the servlet class, right? So here what we'll write, we'll write JSP file. JSP file is, which is the JSP file? JSP file is the init param dot JSP. Okay, JSP file is the init param dot JSP. Okay, this is fine. So now then what we will write, init param. Init param will write, init param is like, for example, we will write password, pass, only pass, and param value is, for example, this is Oracle. This is the init param we have provided here. So that is what we are going to get as part of this JSP. Okay, that is our intention by using the config implicit object. Okay, so here we have provided the servlet. So then the next thing is like servlet mapping. Servlet mapping. Inside the servlet mapping, we will provide the servlet name, and URL is, URL name is slash whatever the URL name we have provided here, providing the action init param.jsp. So that we are going to provide as part of web.xml here, right? No, this is not the correct one. So this is web.xml. Okay, so init param.jsp we have provided. Now init param.jsp we are going to get that init parameter. So out dot println. So this one pass will pass what is that? Init param. Init param. Init param is, what is the init param? So what we'll get? So we'll get, use the config. This is the implicit object. Where the whole objective is here is to use this implicit object. Okay, config. We know everything. The how to, what is the init parameter, how to use that in servlet. We studied as part in detail in the servlet tutorial, right? So if someone have not studied, then he can visit that servlet tutorial, so he can find. Okay, so okay, fine. So now the thing is that, so how we will get config dot get init parameter, get init parameter, get, I think I is the capital init parameter, then init parameter. What is that? The key is what is this key? Init parameter, the key is pass, right? I remember that is the key is pass. That is what we want to display, init parameter config. So again, we one more closing bracket is required, I think. Okay, yes. So here, uh, here also username, and here also will print the out dot println println user, who is the user we want to know. So uname. Okay, so this is the user. So that we have printed, and after printing, so what we want one thing like br plus. Okay, it's just one line break we're going to provide. Okay, this is the one thing we have provided, and this is the out.println init param config get init param. Okay, password we have provided. Okay, I think everything is fine. From web.xml init param we have provided. Fine. So now let's start. Start with slash. So JSP file should be written like we need to provide the slash, right? That is why it is crying. So let me restart again. Okay, now it is going through. So what I'll do, the application is deployed. Now let me access that. So init param.jsp, so this last init param.jsp. This is the, oh no, not init the param.jsp, not init param.jsp, init form.html. Okay, okay, now access this one, init param, init, not init param.jsp, init form. Okay, form.html. Okay, this is the form, init param form. So what I'll do, I'll give uh, raw is the name. Okay, so user is as it is, from the JSP page we got that user is Roy and init param is Oracle. Okay, so what we have done here is, like in the inside the JSP file, we are trying to get init param config dot get init param pass, whatever the pass we have provided here in web.xml as part of init. So this pass, the value is Oracle. So here we are config dot get init parameter pass, based on the key the value we got here. Okay, the whole objective here is like to how we can use the config, right, in without creating the object, how we can make use of the implicit object. We are trying to get the value, the whole objective is here. That's all for this video, so we'll meet in the next video.